Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are breaking down one of the most misunderstood SQL concept, that is self-join. So if this topic has confused you before, trust me, by the end of this session, you will fully understand it, and we will even practice with a real example with an interview style question. So first of all, we need to understand what is self-join. So self-join is basically when a table joins to itself. So we have this question here. We have this question. So the question is finding employees whose salary is greater than their manager's salary. So this is the table containing. So this is the table that we're going to use with the help. This is the table that we're going to use to help us solve this above question here. And as you can see, the question is asking to find employee whose salary is greater than their manager. And you can see the details of the employees and the details of the managers. All of them are in the same table. So for example, you can see employee D1, whose name is Achieng, is managed by manager ID4. And this manager ID4 is pointing to employee ID4. So therefore, manager ID4 and emp ID4. Therefore, manager ID4 is emp ID4. So in this kind of situation, we use self-join because, as you can see, one column is referencing to another column but in the same table. So for us to join this table with itself, first of all, we need to duplicate this table. So we will going to use this table twice. So let's call this one as M, and then we duplicate another table. Select a star from copy, and then let's call this one manager. So we are just using the same table, but we are duplicating it. So for example, here we have so we can use this one. So this is just the same table as the one in SQL. So we can use this one. This one can act as our M. And let's say we have another, we duplicate the same table here and we call this one MG. So we can just copy paste this. Yeah, so we are using the same table to join. We've duplicated the same table and now we are joining these two tables. We are assuming these two tables are different table, where we're going to join the employee table with the manager table. So we're going to join using the manager ID from the employee table and the employee ID from the manager table. So for example, the manager ID from the employee table, that is so, which is, we're going to, if we join these two tables, we're going to have this column here, and also the manager ID for manager ID for manager ID 5. If we join it with the if we join, we're going to get this and so forth. So for 4, we're also going to get for 4 here. For 2, we're also going to get for 2, and so forth. So we are joining these two tables. We are assuming these two tables are different. So we are joining them using manager ID from the first table with the emp ID from the second table. So we are just joining these two tables. Yes, so let's go back to SQL and try to join these two tables. So we're going to join these two tables. Well, right, join. Let's remove this join. So we are joining the emp manager and this emp manager. So we are joining, and we are joining based on we are joining based on the EM manager ID and the MG emp ID based on EM dot manager ID equals to MG dot emp ID, and then we're going to select the column that we want to appear in our final output. So the first column we can write, so we want, let's say I want emp ID, emp name and emp salary, and also I can have the manager name and manager salary. So let's just write emp dot emp ID, and I can call this one as employee. The EID. Then I can have emp dot emp name and I can call this one as employee name. Employee name, and then m dot, let's say, salary, and I call this one as employee salary. And then I can also pick the manager name and manager salary. So I can call it mg dot manager, no, emp name. And I can call this one as manager salary, no, manager name. And then I can have mg dot salary, and I can call this one as manager. Manager salary. Yeah, so if I run this query, yeah, so you can see we have the employee ID, we have the employee name, we have the employee salary, and we have the manager name, and we have the manager salary. So employee name is managed by employee name Achieng is managed by manager Otieno, and we have Mwangi is managed by Njeri. Mutiso is managed by Otieno, and so forth. So the question was asking to find the employee whose salary is greater than their manager's salary. The employee salary who's greater than the manager's salary. So we'll have to compare the employee salary and the manager's salary. Then we filter only the employee salary which is greater than the manager salary. So for that case, we'll have to use where clause. So I can use a subquery and say select star from this table, the whole of this table, and then I can alias it as K, and then I add a filter where the employee salary is greater than the employee salary is greater than manager salary. So if we run this, so you can clearly see the employees. These are the employees whose their salary are greater than their respective manager's salary. So for example, Achieng is managed by Otieno, and Achieng is earning 10,000, while his manager Otieno is earning 5,000. And you can also see Mwangi earning 15,000, and her manager Njeri is earning 12,000, and so forth. So if you found this tutorial helpful, drop a comment on the topic that you want me to cover in the next session. Thank you.